I think everybody's been talking about how the draft really seems to start at 2 because Caleb Williams, Chicago, probably going to happen. But in your opinion, as we get closer and closer and we hear some of the things with Washington, does the draft start at 3? Do the Commanders already know what they're going to
Yes and no. That is a double part question just because there's so many different ways that they could go with a number three overall pick. I'm of the belief that they should take a quarterback just because nothing matters in a rebuild until you get the quarterback position solidified. Just because the offensive personnel for the Patriots is not very great right now, but what can help you is to get that quarterback in place and you continue to build around that guy. So the big dilemma that they're in right now is, do I trade back and collect picks and hope to find my franchise quarterback in future years while I stack the deck offensively with my personnel? Or do I go ahead and get the quarterback and then just build it up from there?
In terms of maybe what you've been hearing, do you think that is a big possibility that the Patriots could trade back? Because we get closer and closer, you think, okay, are they going to take a quarterback? Maybe, but there can be a lot of value if they can get more picks and add more talent.
Initially I thought they would be in favor of trading back, but now just studying Elliott Wolf, seeing the regimes that he was a part of in previous years, I would be really surprised if they didn't take the quarterback. Just because, once again, nothing matters in a rebuild until you get that quarterback solidified. And I'm of the thinking that there's no guarantee that they're going to be in this position a year from now, or the quarterback class is going to be strong in future years. So I don't think they should waste the opportunity to go ahead and get your quarterback.
You've got Drake May as your QB2. Why do you like Drake May so much? What intrigues you? And maybe what can be the ceiling for this young man?
Yeah, there's a lot to like about Drake, man. There's no question that Jaden Daniels was the better player just last year. I mean, he went on to win the Heisman. He was magical. He was absolutely terrific. But when I break down both of those guys and I put them side by side with Drake May, we're talking about a guy that was only a 2-year starter as opposed to Jaden Daniels, who was a 5-year starter. So what would happen if Drake May had 3 more years of college ball? I think we would see a similar player to what Jaden would be. And then also, if you look at the surroundings of both of the quarterbacks, Drake May didn't have nearly as much infrastructure in place as what Jaden Daniels had at LSU. So I think what happened a lot with Drake is that he was trying to do so much of the heavy lifting. It resulted in him creating a lot of bad habits. So that's why you see a lot of the faulty footwork, some of the bad decision making, just because there was a lot of superhero ball involved with him, what I like to call sandlot football, just like he was playing in the backyard, just trying to make plays. But he was trying to overcompensate just because of the poor infrastructure and poor surroundings that happened with him. So if I were New England and I do have the opportunity to actually draft him at number 3 overall, I'll be very patient. You already have Jacoby Brissett as your placeholder in place. I would not play Drake May next year just because he's not going to be ready. And then also, your offensive personnel is just not ready to welcome a quarterback in right now. So I like Drake a lot, but you do have to be very patient with him.
The other guy we've heard and has been sort of hyped up as this draft process has been going on, climbing the board, is JJ McCarthy.
I do think he could go inside of the top 8. I do buy it there. And if you're just looking at the totality of the prospect with JJ, coaches love what I like to call the thrill of the unknown. So a lot of coaches feel as if they have the secret ingredients to help uncover the next layer of development with the quarterback. So if you look at JJ, a prospect that just turned 21 years old in January, he's won as many accolades imaginable with him being 27-1 as a starter. When they did ask him to throw the ball at Michigan, he was very efficient. He had, I believe it was 76% completion percentage off of play action. And he was also 67% on third downs as well. So he just basically was successful with what they asked him to do. So I think once you put a little bit more on his plate and you kind of spoon feed him a little bit, there's a lot of coaches that feel as if there's a lot more left with his potential. So that's why I feel as if he's the next guy in that thrill unknown theory that coaches are going to love just because they feel as if there's a lot left more to his potential.